when I go, people are going to be like, that chili guy, you know, say what you want, but the dude knew how to grab a package. That's my dream. So today we're going to look at vcpkg, which allows us to grab packages. A little bit of background. I did a video a little while back about Visual Studio 2015 and NuGet and SFML. So NuGet is another package manager thing, and it allows you to grab packages and put them into projects, and allows you to, you know, get things like SFML into a project really easily. And that's great. It works super good, except for one little problem. It doesn't currently work for Visual Studio 2017. It's a little bit of a problem there. By the way, I'll put the link to that video in the description. It's still good to know how to use NuGet, and it might work for Visual Studio 2017 in the future, and it still works for 2015 now. But the problem today is we want to be able to get SFML into Visual Studio 2017 nicely, easily, with as little pain as possible. So we're going to be using something called vcpkg. It's a new shiny thing. Just a little disclaimer, this is not going to be like a full tutorial kind of deal. It's more like a let's play for programming, because I haven't done this before. And I specifically put off doing this because once I install this thing on my system, I'm not going to be able to show you guys the whole process from the start. And this might actually be a little better for troubleshooting, because you'll see problems as I have to deal with them, and you'll see what I do to get around shit and how I troubleshoot. But it might be a little longer than, you know, a streamlined walkthrough video where, you know, everything is scripted and everything just goes right. So just something to keep in mind. So here's the situation as I understand it. Details might be a little off, but this is the general idea. When you use NuGet, what you're doing is it allows you to, it's a central repository for library files and, you know, include files. And when you use NuGet, it basically downloads the libraries, the binaries, and puts them in your project, and it downloads, you know, the include files and puts them in there, and then it sets your project up so that your project depends on them, and so that it links up with them correctly, so that all the folders know where to go to find the includes. That's how NuGet works. It's very nice. It's a couple clicks and you're all done. Now, the problem with that is if you got like a library here that was built with Visual Studio 2015, and you have a project that you're trying to compile in Visual Studio 2017, that shit ain't gonna fly. Your libraries have to be built with the same version as your tool set. So if the versions don't match, your shit's gonna break, and that is why NuGet currently doesn't work with SFML in 2017. It's because the only packages that are up on the server right now are for Visual Studio 2015. So what you got to do is basically, if you want to get SFML in 2017, you've got to download the source code, and then you have to build those source code into libraries, and then you can include those libraries in your projects. But that's kind of a pain in the ass. Now, what vcpkg is, it's a little different. This one, it lets you download the source files automatically with a simple command. You can download the source files for, like, say, SFML library, and it'll put them on your computer, and then it'll run a script to build those source files into library files. But because you're building them on your local machine with your version of Visual Studio, that means that it doesn't matter what version of Visual Studio you have, it's just going to work. Visual Studio 2015 or 2017, because you're building it yourself from source, you're going to get a library that's compatible with your tool set. So it gives you that. It downloads the source files for you. It builds them on your machine in a script, and then it stores those source files or the libraries. It stores the libraries in a place where you can access them, and the include files. And then you create your project, and then you make the project depend on the libraries. And I believe it also includes tools that make this dependency setting up a little easier, but we'll see. I don't really have an idea of exactly how it works. I haven't done it yet. So the basic comparison between NuGet and vcpkg, although I haven't used them both yet, my general impression is that the pros for NuGet is, it's super easy. It's goddamn easy. A couple clicks and your shit's downloaded and incorporated in your project, and it just works. You can't fuck it up. But the cons are, well, besides the fact that it doesn't work with SFML currently in Visual Studio 2015, if you download let's say you download SFML into one project. It's in here, but your other projects aren't going to access it. So if you want SFML in another project, you got to download it again, and that's just extra space wasted on your disk. Usually not a lot, but it can get quite big with a huge library like Boost or something. So yeah, cons are duplication of these libraries on your machine, and the fact that you have to download this same version as your toolset, and it might not be clear of all the packages on NuGet which one you need. And sometimes the one you need isn't even on there at all, like the case we have. Those are the cons for NuGet. Now the pros for vcpkg are you do the installation once and it's on your machine. It's available for all projects on your machine. Doesn't duplicate the space used on your machine. And the second pro, like I said, is it downloads the project as source and then builds the binary on your machine, so you don't have to worry about binary compatibility. Now the cons are it's going to take more work to set up, it's going to be more work to grab packages and then to set your projects up to depend on those packages. And we're going to see just how much more work right now. So I got my trusty incognito window open here. We're going to go to vcpkg, yeah, and that will give us this GitHub. The GitHub is the main place to get this stuff from. So vcpkg allows you to get C and C++ libraries on Windows, blah, 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 prerequisites. So we need 2015 update 3 or 2017. You need CMake, but it will download CMake automatically. Very nice. And you need github.exe on your path. So you need Git. Now, if you installed according to my instructions, you should have Git tools on your machine already. So you got to clone the repository, and then you got to clone the suppository, and then you got to run this script. Then to hook up user-wide integration, and you need to have admin, you need to run this, and then you can install like this. Okay, I don't really understand everything, but I know some of these things. So let's start off. First of all, we're going to need to clone the repository somewhere on our machine. So let's go to my hard drive, make sure there's no, incriminating evidence appearing on the screen as we speak. And so I created a folder on my machine called packages, and right now I've only got Google Test on there. But I'm just going to put general libraries and shit in here. You can put your shit wherever the fuck you want. I don't care. And I'm just going to do git bash here, because I know that works. I could probably just do, let me try this. Let's try shift right click, open command window here, and git. Now git is not a recognized internal or external command. So apparently if you install git tools, that does not mean you have git in your path. But what I can do is I can git bash here, and I can get a bash window. Get some fake Linux going on. So what I want to do now is I want to go git clone. I want to do that. But first I want to get what the thing is. So we go up here, we go copy that to clipboard. Copy the URL to the git. Then we'll go here and edit, paste into the window. Bam. And that should get this vcpkg on there very fast. All good. Now, what's the next step? So the next thing we're supposed to do here is hook up user-wide integration. And I imagine what this is going to do is it's going to make it easier to link your projects up with the packages that you download and build. So you got to run .vcpkg integrate install. All right, clone this repository, then run PowerShell. Ooh, following directions, people. Important to do. So PowerShell exec bypass scripts. Where are we right now? Yeah, we probably want to be in vcpkg. Yeah, and then, okay. So now we want to run this. So we'll copy this, and we'll click here, and we'll paste that, and please work. Enter. It is not recognized as the name of a commandlet function or blah, 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 blah. What if I try it with the slash in the other direction? Hit me. It worked. Maybe. Yeah, it's working. Okay. So I'm in fake bash, so I guess I got to do the slashes in the other direction. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So it's doing stuff. It's probably grabbing things like MS build and so forth and installing shit. I don't know what all the stuff it's doing here. It's doing lots of shit. But it built a bunch of stuff too. I don't know. So it seems to have worked. No warnings, no errors. Next, now we've got to run vcpkg integrate install. All right, so we're in there. We want to do... No, don't do that. Copy this. Don't do that. Copy that. All right. And then we want to paste it. And then we want to change that to a /. Probably. Go. Applied user-wide integration for this VC package root. All MS builds can now include any installed libraries. Linking will be handled automatically. Installing new libraries will make them instantly available. CMake projects should use blah. So apparently MS build projects can include libraries, but I don't know if that's going to work easily for projects, just for normal projects like we've been doing in the tutorial series. We'll see. Anyways, this appears to have done the installation. Finally, create a new project or existing one in Visual Studio. You can now include and use any of the installed libraries. So that has apparently done it. Let's look a little more in depth at how this shit goes. So examples.md for specific walkthroughs. So we've got some interesting things here. So what we can do is we can search SQLite. PowerShell. It's just showing the shit on PowerShell, but I don't think we actually need PowerShell, do we? Like, what if I was to just... Let's go VC package. And let's hope this is on the window, right? You can see this, right? Okay. Let's go search SQLite. Your library is not listed. Oh, here we go. Okay, good. It's up there. There's now 3 of them. Oh, they're multiplying. Nice. So great. Let's go search for, what was the thing? SFML. And it's up there. SFML 242, simple and fast multimedia library. Beautiful. Now, what do we want to do? Okay, so we know the name of our shit. Installing is as simple as using the install command. In addition to installing, VC packaging caches a pristine copy inside the packages directory. In this case, packages blah. This allows you to quickly uninstall and reinstall the library in the future using the remove and install commands. All right, I guess. We can check that SQLite was successfully installed for the list command. All right, cool. To install for other architectures and platforms, you can suffix the package name with :target. So :x86, :x64 Windows. Interesting. All right. So let's get SFML for 32 and 64-bit. So we're gonna go install. Let's make sure you guys can see this. There. And we're gonna go SFML, I guess. No. Yeah, SFML, that was it. Install SFML. And no suitable version of CMake was found. Oh, so now this is when it downloads it for you. When you try to install shit. Default is Y. Okay, I'll press enter. This is a file transfer that uses background intelligent transfer service. Okay, well, this is apparently going to take a while. All right, its download has finished. Now we are copying how much? How much did you download? Doesn't say. Items remaining, 7 megabytes. 4 megabytes per second. Why is it so slow? Anyways. Alright, so it's now maybe installing CMake. I don't know. As you can see, this is already quite a bit more, well, you can't see any of that. This is quite a bit more involved than the deal with, whatchamacallit, NuGet, but that's the price you pay. That's the price you pay for being able to build the binaries on your local machine to your own tool set. This is taking longer than I hoped it would. Interesting, it says it's getting zlib. I wonder if that means that SFML depends on zlib, because I actually remember that might be the case. bzip. So it grabs SFML, but it also grabs recursively all the packages that SFML depends on and builds those as well. Very cool. Yeah, here's libpng. That's got to be from SFML, right? So it's getting all of its dependencies right now. All right, that only took like a billion years. No big deal. Let's do it again, but this time for x64. How do we do that? We do x64-Windows. So go back, get out of my face. We're going to go back into here and we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to paste in x64 Windows. Paste. And see you again, in about one eternity. And after a long period in which you can, reconsider your life decisions, we're all done. And it's time to try to get this fucker into a project. So step 2, use it. Option, Visual Studio Project user-wide integration. It's the recommended and most productive ways via user-wide integration, making the system available for all projects you build. User-wide integration will require minister blah blah blah. After first use, minister no longer blah. Okay, so we did the integrate install. That happened. That is a thing that happened. All C++ projects can now include, good. No, you'll need to restart Visual Studio or perform a build update. Okay. Now you use File, New Project in Visual Studio, and the library will be automatically available for SQLite blah. To remove integration, interesting. CMake, no thank you. I will learn that in someday. Option C, other build systems. Libraries are installed into the include folder. Generally, you want to blah. VS project, individual project integration. This is what I read about. This is interesting. You can individually integrate from NuGet. So you build the thing on your machine, and then your machine acts like a server to grab a NuGet package from and integrate it into a single project. But like I kind of explained before, it modifies the project file, right? It sticks it right in there rather than having the project depend on it externally. So like it says here, it's not good for open source projects, things you're going to put up on GitHub that you want other people to be able to download and build on their machine. So what looks like the best option is user-wide integration. It says that we can just use the shit. And I'm not sure exactly what that means, but let's try it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Visual Studio 2017. And I'm gonna make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing first of all. So let's make a new project. File, new project. And we'll just make an empty project. We'll make a console application. Now I'll make an empty project. And we'll call it vcpkg. We'll call it grab my package. Grab my package. There we go. And that should let us make a new project. Good. All right, so we want to add a source file, a new item, header, a source file called source.cpp. The source from Circuit City. And then what we're going to do, here's the thing. Here's the deal, my friends. SFML dev. So we're going to go on here. We're going to grab that source file. So it's going to be on learn API documentation, and it should be in here. So all I got to do now is copy this, and then where I can't tell where one thing starts. No, that's my Visual Studio. Okay, well, whatever. Paste this in here. All right. So apparently, right now, we can right away see that our project knows about these header files, and that's good. That is a good sign. So we have no problem with headers. Now, what about the libraries? Well, let's try to build it. Building. It just fucking built. That was easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought I would have to at least, go into here, go into linker input, and, jam something in here. But it just worked. I don't know how it worked. I assume it's magic, but it worked. And you know what? That's enough for me. I am satisfied with that. I don't want to ask any more questions. Actually, I want to ask one more question. And the question I want to ask is our children's learning? But also, list. So let's see. All right, so these are all the packages that we installed. And we did it because we did it all for the Nookie, but also because when we tried to grab SFML, it obviously grabbed all the things that SFML depends on for 64-bit and 86-bit and built them all. And now they're all built, and now we can start a new project and we can build that project and the shit will work. It won't work because I don't have any of these, cute image.jpg, etc. If I try to run it, obviously it's just going to crash. Yeah. So, but the building part works, and that's the part that we wanted to get to work, and now it works. So this is how you grab shit and build it build the packages to make the libraries. And then if you run the integration script, I kind of said that a little weird, but yeah, integrate, install, and make sure you're an administrator when you do it. That will make it super goddamn easy for you to then use those libraries in your projects. It'll just fucking work. And that's the situation I like the most. It just fucking works. So yeah, this is actually, obviously it takes a little longer to download the packages and build them, but this is probably better than NuGet on a number of fronts. Now, one last thing to note here, a little bit of an advanced topic. You probably don't have to worry about this if you're just a beginner, but the thing that we did sets it up the libraries for dynamic linking. So you have to supply a DLL with the executable when you want to run it. You can also download, or you can also grab the packages for static linking, and that's these ones here. But it obviously it's going to require different setup and bullshit if you want a static link. So I say, unless you actually know what you're fucking doing, forget about it, leave it. It's interesting here because when we created this project, and I just created a empty project and I pasted this stuff in here, but somehow it figured out that we needed all of these DLLs and it put them all in here. And I find that, quite cromulent. So yeah, by default, you're going to be linking statically, which is the default linking also for when you normally just use SFML by downloading the libraries from the website or by getting them from NuGet. So there's no difference there. And just got to know that you have to supply the exe with the proper DLLs when necessary, when you're supplying it to someone else. But yeah, that's vcpkg. It's actually a lot cooler than I thought it was going to be. I am on board. Of course, I imagine as I use it, I'll be discovering all sorts of wrinkles and annoyances, and so will you. But we'll cross those bridges when we come to them. And if you're running into problems or you got comments, anything, advice, questions, you know where to find me on the Discord, on the forum, www.planetchili.net. But yeah, that's it for today. Good luck with SFML and vcpkg and Visual Studio 2017. And I'm going to see you soon with some more C++.